By every measure that matters, the job market is fine. So why does it feel like this? February 2026. Employers added the fewest workers in 12 years. This didn't happen during a recession. There was no crash. The hiring market didn't slow down. It quietly stopped. The people who were supposed to fill those jobs, they've stopped believing the jobs exist. The job market is fine. Unemployment is at 4.1%. Job openings, 7.6 million. GDP growth is positive. That's what the data says. But here's everything that's wrong with it. 3.5 years ago, a chatbot changed everything. Not immediately, not all at once. The way a slow leak destroys a wall, you don't notice it until the ceiling falls. Before we talk about what's happening to jobs, we need to talk about what's happening to job listings. Because the market isn't just cold. Part of it was never real. The ratio of hires per job posting has essentially halved in 5 years. In 2019, 8 of every 10 postings resulted in a hire. Today, it's 4. The other 6 listings are ghosts, jobs that exist to be seen, not filled. Why would a company waste everyone's time? 3 reasons: to look healthy to investors, to harvest resumes they'll need later, and, most cynically, to remind the people currently working there that they are replaceable. Companies aren't lying about AI layoffs, they're speaking a different language, one they invented specifically to make bad news sound like good strategy. In 2025, companies officially blamed AI for 55,000 layoffs, but modeling estimates put the real number at 4 to 5 times higher. The difference isn't a rounding error. Companies rarely disclose AI as the cause, because there's a safer story to tell. Even real jobs are becoming harder to reach. The ATS filters resumes before any human sees your name. Your resume isn't rejected by a person. It's rejected by a machine before the process even begins. Candidates are using AI to write better resumes. Companies are using AI to screen them. It's an arms race, but the house built both sides of it. The mainstream story is, AI will eventually threaten your job. The actual story in 2026 is, it's already started at the bottom, and the bottom is where careers begin. A Stanford study found that employment among early career workers in AI-exposed fields dropped 16% since ChatGPT launched. Not laid off after years on the job, never hired in the first place. Entry-level job postings are down 35% in 18 months. Junior developer positions have collapsed by 67% since 2022, in 3 years, not a generation, 3 years. Entry-level jobs weren't just work. They were the mechanism by which industries reproduced expertise. That on-ramp, the one that took a generation to build, is being cut off faster than anyone is tracking the consequences. In 2023, Klarna fired thousands of workers, replaced them with AI, and celebrated $10 million in savings. By 2025, they were scrambling to rehire. Klarna is not alone. They were just the first to say it out loud. Historically, layoffs followed recessions. That relationship has broken. In 2026, layoffs are happening during record corporate profitability. GDP is growing, shareholders are winning, and the people who built those companies are being handed severance packages. Economists have a name for this: Engels' pause. During Britain's Industrial Revolution, GDP soared for half a century while worker wages stagnated. History eventually corrected, but it took 60 years. We are watching the same dynamic compressed into a single decade. The Federal Reserve uses job opening data to calibrate interest rates. Since 2022, job openings have outnumbered actual hires by more than 2 million per month. Part of that gap is ghost jobs. The most powerful economic instrument in the world is being aimed using data that doesn't accurately describe the economy it's trying to steer. Economists have quietly started using a term, the vibes recession. The gap between how the official data reads and how the people inside the economy actually feel. The instruments are calibrated for an economy that no longer exists. Not everything is equally exposed. The jobs that survived weren't the ones that felt safe from automation. They were the ones that required a body in a room, a licensed hand on a tool, or a human judgment that cannot be outsourced to a server farm. PwC found that roles requiring AI fluency grew 38% in job postings and commanded a 56% wage premium. The labour market didn't disappear, it bifurcated. The AWS CEO put it plainly, if we stop training junior talent today, who runs the systems in a decade? The industry is eating its seed corn. The harvest gap won't show up in any earnings report until it's far too late to replant. Here is the loop nobody wants to say out loud. Ghost jobs erode confidence. Confidence erosion reduces consumer spending. Reduced spending leads to real layoffs. Real layoffs produce more ghost jobs to mask the damage. The cycle generates its own gravity. This isn't a San Francisco story. The cities feeling it hardest are the ones that built their economies on back-office operations, call centers, financial processing, data entry. They were the good jobs that didn't require you to live in a coastal city. Those are the first to go. The question isn't whether AI will take your job. It might. The real question is whether the systems built to measure, protect, and prepare you for that moment are being honest. And the person applying to their 200th listing this month doesn't know which of those is true. The job market isn't broken in the way recessions are broken. Nobody rang a bell, no crash, no single event. It's being hollowed from the inside, by algorithms that screen before humans see, by listings that were never real, by junior roles that quietly stopped existing, and by a vocabulary designed to make all of it sound like progress.